Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited about today's show. I've got Guy Migues from Louisiana here with me, and we've been having so much fun the last few minutes talking prior to the show. So this is going to be a fantastic show. Thank you for joining us. Whether you're on our website or YouTube or Facebook, if you've got comments, questions for Guy, we're going to talk about FSBOs. We're going to talk about getting into real estate and finding success right away. Some really cool things. If you've got questions for Guy, please type those in. We'll make sure that those questions get sent over to him so that he can answer those for us. But I am really, really excited about today. Guy, thanks for being here. Welcome. Hey, will you do me a favor? Just introduce yourself, and then will you share your story of how you got into real estate? Because you were sharing that with me, and I think it's so cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. My name's Guy Migues. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. It's a thriving metropolis just south of New York City. Just about 45 minutes south of Baton Rouge. I started out in real estate. I think this is about my 10th month. About a year ago, I decided to take the leap, and here we are.
So what were you doing prior to that?
Yeah, so I was in the oil field. I did some sales in the oil field, stuff like that. I was a machinist at one time, planted sugarcane. I could keep going back, but did a lot of different things, odd and end, a lot of oil field work, stuff like that.
Okay, and then from there, it was make the jump from being a roughneck in the oil fields to I'm going to sell real estate.
Sure. Yeah. So, sitting back, I think last December or so, my wife and I. Looking at the oil field, there's always so much uncertainty. It's usually, every 3-4 years it'll take a dip, and then, and then it'll be good for a couple years. So we decided to look at something new, and there was a problem. I really wanted to do real estate, but I actually dropped out of high school. I figured I learned enough throughout like 17 years. I was good. I was wrong, but so I ended up going to GED night classes starting in last February. Worked my way through that, ended up getting my GED, and then through real estate school right after. I was licensed by August, and my broker told me to go out and get some deals. So that's what we did.
So tell me about that, because as we talked, and I want to talk more about this, right? One of the things you said it's just about action. You just got to get out and do it. So you got your license. You said you'd matched with a great broker, and then you said, "What do I do now?" And he said, "Go get some deals." Right. So what did that look like for you?
Yeah, man. So look, the whole time, like from the second I started, I hate to go back, but the second I started with my GED thing, I knew what I was going to do, and I knew I wanted to be good at it. So I started studying scripts to where I was doing real estate while I was doing my GED. Brian Casella, Kevin Ward. A lot of people, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar in sales, just getting ready. So I felt like I was primed and ready to go. And I think my broker saw that in me. So once I was licensed, I asked him, I said, man, what do I do? Where do I go? I didn't have any money to buy any leads or anything. He says, why don't you do for sale by owners? I was like, yeah, well, I know those scripts. I'll do that. So hopped on the websites, find the numbers. And I told him, I said, man, I don't know what to do once I get them. He said, well, just go get them. So it's action, effort and action. I ended up having actually 2 listings before I knew how to fill out a contract, or I had my business cards.
That is awesome,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Just to jump in and go. Well, and I love the preparation, right? You knew that you were getting into real estate, and so you went, well, I got to know what to say, and start listening. And it sounds like, because I'm familiar with Brian Casella and Kevin Ward and Brian Tracy and Zig Ziglar, obviously not real estate specific, but it sounds like you probably just got online and you were like, who should I listen to?
Yeah, man.
Right?
I think that anything that's been done before could be replicated. I don't think you need to be super special. I think that if you put in the effort, ask and you shall receive. I think ask intelligently. So learn the scripts, learn how to do the business. And then ask for the business. At the beginning, I was definitely super scripted until I internalized it, and now it's it's real easy for me to call people and talk to them about selling their home, because I just want to help. And if I can help them sell their home, I truly believe I can. It's easy to ask. So I think that, having being prepared, having confidence, and then action.
I love that. Now, for everybody listening here, so we've got a new agent here. You've had your license since August, correct?
Yep.
And
since like middle of August.
And right now you've got how many deals under your belt and pending?
So I looked this up for the show. I'm not this vain, though some people may disagree. But look, it is what it is. So by the end of June, I'm talking after appraisals, I have a few pendings and stuff like that. I'll probably have 27 transactions with 28 listings between Acadiana and Baton Rouge.
So in your first 10 months, so we'll say we'll round up, we'll say 11 months, right? You'll have almost 30 transactions closed, and most of those come from FSBOs, correct?
25 come from FSBOs. 3 of them were either referrals or friends.
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about.
I'm not a popular guy.
Well, you will be if you keep doing this many transactions, and that's a good thing. So I want to talk about FSBOs, right? And we've talked about lots of stuff on the show. I'm actually really excited to dig into FSBOs, right? I think that they're so primed to sell, right? Here's somebody who's saying, I'm trying to sell my house. So let's talk for a little bit about how you prospect to FSBOs. What does your prospecting look like? And start to give us some insight, and then I'll ask for some deeper questions if we need to go there.
Yeah, sure. So, man, at the beginning, it was just calling and using the script, man. Because I didn't know anything else but the script. So really, it's just picking up the phone and calling. For sale by owners have their hands up. They gave us our license to help people buy and sell properties. And here are some folks with their hands up asking for help. I think that if you have good intentions and you just want to help them, I mean, you got to call them. You have to call these people. These people need help, I haven't seen the stats, but someone told me that like something like 80% of real estate lawsuits happen with a for sale by owner, something like that, something crazy like that. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. So I mean, like I feel like it's we have to call them. I feel like they need me, So
yeah. So let's start, because we've got questions coming in already. Robert Clark, he asks, okay, what is your FSBO script? So when you were, so let me ask this question in 2 parts. Mm-hmm. When you were getting your license and you were just starting to practice scripts and stuff, what scripts were you practicing? Was it a specific one from one of these guys that we mentioned earlier?
Yep. So Kevin Ward scripts, which I think diverged from the Mike Ferry scripts. Okay. So at the beginning, again, it was just me reading those scripts, reading the Kevin Ward scripts to people. I watched an agent in my office the other day literally read the script. I'm talking every punctuation, and got an interview, got a meeting, and none of this. Hey, I got a buyer. Could I come see your house? A real appointment. So I started out with the Kevin Ward scripts, and like any good, to me, I think you have to internalize it. The script's great, but here's the thing. Like, did you see the new Joker movie?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, Joaquin Phoenix is phenomenal, right? He's amazing in it. That's scripted. So scripts doesn't have to be just reading it. What I think the real power from scripts is to practice them, internalize them, and then perform them, camouflage them in your voice and your personality, how you feel about it. So, I mean, of course, use the scripts at the beginning, but I do think that once you get it figured out, once you get them internalized, you figure out your style, start to play with it, have fun, So Kevin Ward.
So is that still the same script, or has it changed in the 10 months?
Yeah. So here recently with all the COVID stuff, I find Kevin Ward's scripts helped me get some now business because I needed it, because all feels no good. I needed some now business. So look, I'm closing a bunch of times until I get the appointment. Here recently with COVID, so I got pretty busy around January with all these transactions going on. So I didn't prospect a whole lot in January. I took some fool's gold. Then when COVID hit that first week, I called. I got cursed out like 4 times. I was like, man, this never happens. This is horrible. So I took a break. And what I did was I just kind of thought about what they need from me right now. And what I discovered was they need someone to help them as well, but maybe in a different way. So I kind of toned it down a bit and just took the position of, hey, what could I do to help you? Could I help you now? And if not, I want to stay in touch with you so I can help you later. So it's definitely changed a bit.
Okay. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense, right? I love this idea that, you know, let me take a step back and put myself in their shoes. What is it they really need right now? And that's actually a really common kind of thread that we've seen through all of these podcasts, whether, you know, new crushing it agents like you or veteran agents or economists, everybody we talk to, there's kind of been this whole idea that, look, I'm here to help. I'm here to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that through all of the COVID-19 stuff, that seems to be kind of the underlying message from everybody that's continued to help them grow and sustain their business. So we just had a question come in from Michael Young. He says, good job. He says, can I ask how you establish your credentials being a rookie? So you don't have a whole lot of, you don't have years and years and years of history. You don't have records. Yeah. Do you convince people using you versus someone who are the top dogs in your market? So how do you do that? How do you come in and go, I'm the guy that needs to sell your home? Yeah.
So I thought that too. Like at the beginning, I was nervous. Like, what do I say if they ask about my stats? Here's the thing. Don't talk about your stats. You have none. So what I recommend is using your company stats. If you have to, use your office stats. My broker taught me that. So if you don't have them, don't talk about them. And then also too, confidence, man. Learn what you need to talk about. Role play. I mean, my wife will ask me who I'm talking to sometimes in bed. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going over my listing presentation. to where whenever I get there, I know exactly what I'm going to say. I have confidence in my ability to price, and then I have confidence in my presentation. To where, why would they ask me how new am I? Why weren't they concerned that I didn't have business cards? They never asked for one. They never asked for one. I doubt my first two even knew that they were my first two. You know, I didn't celebrate that. You know, that's only one deal. I don't care about one deal. I'm looking to help 100 people, 200 people throughout years. I don't care about one deal. You know.
Yeah. And I think that's great advice, right? And something that you mentioned, right, is that I think is really crucial. I think a lot of times there is, and maybe you can confirm this for me, is when there's a lack of confidence, we tend to talk about the things that are that we're nervous about, right? So you might have come in and said, "Oh, I don't have a business card," when they may not have even been thinking about that. But when you're confident, you come in and you're able to go, look, here's what I do well. Here's what I'm going to do for you, and I'm here to do that. So let me ask this question. This just popped into my head, right? As somebody who can have his wife roll over and go, who are you talking to? Because you're practicing in your head, right?
Yeah.
How often do you practice your scripts?
All the time.
Throughout the whole day?
Always. Oh, I'm always thinking about the next conversation. Because again, if I can't articulate confidently how I'm gonna help you, why in the world would you let me try? I can't even talk about it. You know, I can't even convince myself that I'm worth it. You know, how am I gonna convince a customer? But here's the thing. I truly in my heart know that there's nothing I wouldn't do to help these people. Not a thing. And if I don't know the answer, I'll go ask it. I'll go find it. I won't pretend I know something I don't know, but I will give massive action. I will ask for business because new or not, I don't believe I'll be outworked. And I don't believe that people care more than I do. So why not try to help, you know?
So that leads me to a question that just came in here, which I think is really good, right? So this is from somebody on Facebook, so it got relayed over to me, and they say, what do you tell the FSBO seller that refuses to listen and is set on doing it by himself, right? This is somebody who's set on being a FSBO. Mm-hmm. You're somebody who's not going to be outworked. How does that go into a situation like that?
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. If I feel like someone truly doesn't need my help, I'll say, okay, cool. I'll talk to you later. Call me if you need something. And then I'm going to go move on and find someone who needs my help. But here's the thing. If it's just a stall, you know, I'll offer any assistance I can to help them. Hey, look, you get an offer, let me know. I'll help you figure out the paperwork. I'll give you tips and tricks, whatever you need, especially if there's another agent involved. because that guy's gonna be negotiating against you. Call me if you need something, whatever you want, and I'll really help them. Or I'll take a look. I say, hey, look, your pictures are pretty bad, man. You might want to talk to somebody. Let me send you a number. Let me send you my photographer's number. Let me hook you up with that. What could I do for you? And look, let them try it. Why not? It's 6%. You know, it's a lot of money. Why shouldn't they give it a good try? Why are you scared that an amateur could outsell you? I mean, to me, I'm gonna sit back, and if you sell, awesome. I'm gonna celebrate you. I'm happy for you. Because look, I've been in points in my life where every little bit counts. Every 1% counts. If that guy can save 6%, I'm happy for that dude. Good for him. Wish him the best and go find yourself a client. But stay in touch, follow up, and ask him to help later. That's what I think.
And I love what you said pre-show. So I'm gonna quote Guy Migues here. Also, is that thunder in the background? Is that what's going on back there?
Hey, bro, welcome to Hurricane Town, right?
Oh my goodness, man, it's like ringing in my ears. I can't imagine what it's doing to your neighborhood, shaking.
Oh, my dogs and the cats are about to ruin the show.
So here's what you said before the show, right? Is you said, look, if somebody doesn't want to work with me, that's fine. There are too many people for me to have too much competition that I can't go out and just find somebody else. Right. Yeah. And I think that really sets the tone for the way you operate your business is that you hustle, right? Is that somebody's not going to outwork you, and you go, look, if they don't want to work with me, I'm going to give it my very best shot. If they still don't want to work with me, no big deal. There's somebody else that does.
Yeah, for sure. There is no scarcity. You look around, I'm looking at a bunch of potential clients right now. There is no scarcity. You will not run out of customers. You not run out of potential clients. And I'm not going to sit there and beat my head against a wall with someone who doesn't want to work with me. Oh, here's one thing I'll hang up right away. Hey, my mom's in the business. I hang right up. Like, all right, later, move on. But other than that, man, I just try to help them. And if someone's being too ugly to me or something like that, I don't want to work with you anyway, to be honest. There's too many other people who would appreciate my help and who want me to call them.
I love this idea that there's always somebody else, right? Because sometimes we look and we go, well, it's easy to blame our success or our failure on what the market conditions look like sometimes. And I think your mindset is a really good one that says, regardless of what the markets are, there's people out there that still need to find a place to live. And I think that we've seen that nationwide, right? I don't think that as much as we expected the pandemic to have a drastic effect, I've not talked to many people who've been drastically affected, right? People are still buying and selling, and that's awesome. We've got some questions stacking up here. So let me get to some of these questions. And Robert, I'm glad that Robert asked this question. He says, well, he tells us, he says, hey, role play the FSBO script. So we might have to do a role play here in just a few minutes.
Hey, I'm new. If I mess it up, y'all better not clown me on them comments, man. I'm gonna be lurking in the comments. If y'all
that's all right. That's all right. But before we get to that, let me ask this question here. Is Amanda? She says, "Do you do any mailers to FSBOs?"
I cannot afford that.
So you're not sending any type of mail?
Afford that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm gonna go so as long as there's no biblical pestilence, I'll go knock on their door after or something, tell them hi. But no mailers. What? No, the only investment I ever do in real estate so far, and look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm pretty new. I have REDX, and shameless plug. I really like it. That's it.
I'm a sales guy. I love shameless plugs.
Yeah, it's really good. It keeps me accountable. I go make my calls because I know that I cannot afford to not make the calls because I got to pay for this deal. So, yeah, that's it, man. I don't do any mailers, anything like that. I mean, if you can afford them, why not, but that's up to you. I think here's what I think real quick. I think that people find a lot of ways to not have to get on the phone with people.
Amen. Yes.
My personal deal with that is, I feel like they avoid the conversation. There's nothing these folks are going to do to you. It's just your neighbors with for sale signs. That's it.
So let's talk a little bit more in detail before we get to a role play. talk a little bit more in detail about what your prospecting looks like. So what time every day are you on the phones prospecting?
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. So normally I do prospecting. I'll hop on, I do my, I contact all my sellers on Monday. I'll do that, I'll hop on REDX and do that on Monday. I'll reach out to some of like the geo leads or people like that I talked to already, excuse me, that I need to touch base with. So, and then Mondays are kind of admin stuff like that. Tuesdays I hit it pretty hard. I'll do a couple hours. I'll do a couple hours in the morning, new scripts. But we're in a pretty small market, so it's not like there's 800 for sale by owners out there. I don't call expireds because I find them grumpy, and they scare me. So I avoid those people. Y'all can have those people. So I avoid them. So I'll do a couple hours on Thursday, a couple hours on Wednesday. Thursdays I do inspections, pictures, stuff like that. I don't have any admin, anything like that. My wife's too expensive. I can't hire her. I can't afford her at all. And then Fridays I also do prospecting for a while. So about 3 days a week, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Or whenever the job needs to be done.
And during that time where you're on the phones prospecting, what does that look like? Are you pounding using a power dialer? Are you dialing by hand?
So up until COVID, I was dialing by hand. So everything was by hand. Everything was searching websites for sale by owners the old school way, checking on the MLS, make sure they weren't listed. So I wish I'd have found this earlier, and that's honest. So now I hop on how you call that, Vortex, and I get all my calls done pretty quickly. I'm able to be way more productive. Like right now, I have a funnel of probably 40 for sale by owners that I've spoken to that I think kind of like me at least, that I can call back. So I got a pretty full pipeline right now.
So how often, if you speak to somebody and you're not able to set a listing appointment right then, how soon before you follow up with that person?
I'm gonna try to check on them every week, man. So I try not to annoy people because I think that's a good way to not get the appointment. Okay. I don't call them and tell them how silly they are for doing for sale by owner, any of that stuff. So I feel like I keep the line of communication open enough to where whenever they need me, I'm able to call them back. So probably about once a week, I'll check on them. If I feel like they're hot, they tell me, hey, look, I'm listing this thing in a month. I'm gonna pop up. You're getting a friend request on Facebook. We're gonna, I'm a lurk. I'm gonna stalk you. So I'll contact that guy a little bit more,
So if it's somebody who's super motivated, you're going to put a little more effort toward it. But otherwise, once a week, you're going to try to at least follow up with somebody that often.
Yeah, if they're super motivated, I'm gonna get that appointment. So if I sense that they're really ready to go without being pushy or anything like that, again, I want to be able to call back. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push a little bit. I might close once or twice to try to get you to let me come by. But again, I don't. If you don't need help, I can't help you. But if you do need help, I need to ask the question and ask for the meeting. And I think that's the reason why I've yet to miss a listing. Whenever I go on the appointment, I get the listing.
That's amazing. that is fantastic, right? To have that kind of conversion to say, well, I'm there.
I haven't missed one. I haven't missed. So look, knock on wood. If that goes south, I'm blaming REDX. But I don't think, man. No, I don't think, man. I don't think I missed the one.
That's awesome.
Because you got to find motivated sellers,
Let me ask this question that somebody asked on Facebook, and then maybe we'll get to our role play here. I know that everybody's dying for that one. So Jeremy from Facebook, he says, how many active listings do you normally have, and how many do you currently have right now?
So it's going to be real hard, everybody, for me to speak to normally because I'm new. Like I'm carrying, I think I have 12 or 13 right now. I have a few pending. But again, I did take a break. I took a break from like mid-January. I got suckered into this mentality of, nothing's happening, freaking out because of COVID. I do believe that my numbers should be better. I'm not happy about these numbers at all. I'm not celebrating these numbers a bit because the second I got back on the phone, while everything was still going on, I got 6 listings. So, I mean, back to back to back to back. So I'm not happy about it. But right now I'm carrying, I think 12, something like that. I don't know, 12, 13.
So here's what you're saying. If I'm hearing correctly, you're saying I should not have hunkered down. I should have just kept cranking.
No, man. No, I should not have hunkered down. That was a mistake. I try to be as focused as possible. I'm not going to worry about what's going on at the White House or anybody else's house. I'm worried about what's going on in my house. So what I need to do is I need to attack. My plan of attack is attack. And I let that lapse. I sat back and I hung out, and I probably lost 6 listings. 2 weeks, maybe I have a bunch more good conversations. I get 6 more. Maybe I can help 6 more families move before I make my year. That's not good, man. I'm not happy with that at all.
Well, but I mean, still to be where you're at is pretty phenomenal. I think that you're off to a good start, right? I mean,
I do. Yeah.
Really crushing it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Let's do a role play if we can.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. All right. Ring ring. Hello.
Oh, you're calling me?
No.
You're calling me, I'm closing. You're calling me, I'm closing. This is mine. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Tyler. This is Guy Migues with Dream Home Realty. How you doing?
Good, Guy. How are you?
Good, man. Can't complain. Y'all made it through the quarantine, okay?
We're surviving. Going a little stir crazy, but we should make it okay. What can I do for you?
Not too much, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but that house you guys have for sale by owner is still available?
Yeah, currently it is.
Good deal. Could you tell me a little bit about it, man?
Yeah, so we've lived here for about 6 years. We put a tremendous amount into the home. We totally re-landscaped the front and backyards, installed privacy fence all the way around, and we've totally remodeled and updated the inside, including kitchens, bathrooms, cabinets, countertops. We've done a lot of work to it. It's an amazing home. Our situation's changed, and we're moving because of some career changes, and looking to get it sold.
Good deal, man. Well, shoot, let me ask you, how about the condition of the house? I mean, I've seen all the stats and all the details on the internet, but how would you rate it? Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like brand new. How you see it, man?
Well, I mean, again, we've updated just about everything in the last couple of years. I would say we're probably a solid 9.
Cool, a 9. Gotcha. Well, look, man, it sounds like an awesome place. Why in the world y'all selling?
Well, again, like I said, career change. We've got to move closer to where my wife is going to be working. The commute that we have currently is just wouldn't work for us. So we've got to kind of split the difference.
I got you, man. Hey, how soon does your wife have to report for work?
Well, she starts in about a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and we could do that commute if we need to. I mean, we really want to get the home sold. But at the same time, I feel like the price that I've got it at is pretty fair. So I think we'll hold out for that as long as we can.
Mm-hmm. How'd you guys how'd y'all come up with the price?
Well, mostly just looking and seeing what else is out there. That was the biggest thing, is trying to see what else is out there.
I hear you saying you guys have to be gone in a month. What made you go at it alone? Why y'all doing it by yourself?
Well, I think that we can give it quite a bit of exposure by advertising online and and doing some social media marketing and things that I dabble in a little bit. So I felt like we could probably do that and save the 6% rather than pay that to an agent. Yeah,
that makes sense, man. Definitely. I hope you're able to do that and save that 6% for sure. I'm sure it'll sell. It's a beautiful place. Man, look, if the time does come, we get a little closer to the transfer. Do you have an agent in mind that you'll work with, or?
No, not yet. I mean, we know a few people, but if we do end up listing with an agent, we want somebody who's really good, just not somebody that we are familiar with. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, because it's more important for you to get the most money possible in an easy transaction than your friend to get a deal, right?
Yes, correct.
Gotcha. Well, look, man, if that time does come, man, I hope it doesn't, and you were to hire an agent, what would you expect out of them?
I'd expect him to sell my house.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's the end. If I'm going to pay somebody that much money, then I want to make sure that they get house sold in the shortest amount of time possible.
Good deal. So you want someone to get your equity out, get your wife to her new job on time, and get you as much equity as possible. Cool deal. Well, look, if I could help you, man, play along with me. If I could help you, get closer to wife's work, in the right amount of time and still net you what you need to net in your pocket at the end of the sale, would you consider interviewing me now?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you could net me what I want and still have me pay you commission. But
sure,
yeah,
sure. Well, look,
if the numbers made sense, the numbers make sense, I guess.
Yeah, well, sure, man. Look, I'm not going to nitpick your house over the phone. I'm not going to pretend to know the value off top. You deserve more respect than that. But what I will do is I'll look at the numbers, and if it makes sense, when we get together, we talk about everything as a whole, man. And if it's good for you, and I want to take the listing, I feel like I could sell your home and get you closer to your wife's work. I'll ask for the business. But if not, I'll let you know right away. And if you don't like me, I'll be out of there in 10 minutes. Fair enough?
Yeah. I guess I'm not opposed to at least exploring the option, but like I said, we would like to pocket that 6% ourselves.
Of course. I want that for you too, man. But we look at another option. That way, you know for sure you're doing what's best for your family, right?
Yeah, I could live with that.
Okay, you available tomorrow? You available tomorrow?
Yeah, depending on what time, but yes, tomorrow.
What's the best time for you?
Let's do 5.
5 o'clock. See you then.
Well done.
Gracias.
You can chalk that one up as a listing appointment.
Yeah, that's a listing appointment. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, so just that though. So there's a lot more before I go on. I'm gonna pre-qualify and all that. So it could fall apart later. And here's the thing: if I look at the numbers and it doesn't make sense, this guy's somewhere off in Pluto. Whenever I pre-qualify him, if I don't think I can help him, and my time's too valuable and I respect him too much to waste his time, I'll let him know. I'll let him know because I think it's doing a disservice to them.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's a disservice to your time too, right? If you know that it's not even in the ballpark, if we're not even playing the same game, then it makes sense to you. I love that. You've been in less than a year, but you already have that mentality. I think that we see that a lot with agents who in the beginning they're so emotionally attached to the outcome of every single phone call because they're desperate to get listings and kick their career off. I think that you're unique a little bit in the fact that you've already come to this way of thinking that there's other people out there. If this one doesn't work out, another one will. And I hope that that's actually a mindset that many of our agents can take away. A lot of good feedback in the comments. Everybody's was really happy with it. So well done.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Well, thank you, man. Thank y'all. And to kind of go over it too, I think desperation stinks. And like, unlike COVID, you could smell it through the phone. Like it goes straight through the phone. If forget about you, forget about your check, forget about that. That doesn't matter because I think Jim Rohn said this or something like it. If you help enough people get what they want, God will get you what you need. You're religious or whatever you want to, whatever you guys do, just help people. Find a lot of people to help, and the money's there. I don't celebrate closings. I'm not talking bad about any agents with their pictures with their closings. Okay, look, I'm new. I do my thing. Y'all do y'all thing. I'm not the only thing I'm happy about is that my clients got what they need. Obviously, because we're at the table. That's it. Okay, cool. Pay me, and then I'm gonna go find someone else to help. It just doesn't matter. And I think if you keep that mindset of the check, that's cart before the horse. Find someone to help, and the check will come.
So let me ask this question then: is because sometimes that's hard, right? Sometimes that's hard. So are there times where you start to see yourself becoming weak in that? And if so, what do you do to get back to the right mindset?
Well, here's what I think. I've been super broke. I've been planting sugar cane or working in a machine shop. My wife and I do the bills on Friday. We got $4.97. I busted out laughing. It doesn't get worse than that, you know. It's Friday. I just got paid. So it's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You know, I think the cost of being desperate is more expensive than the cost of having good intentions and just helping people, find people to help. It sucks. Get another job where you can worry about a check. This isn't the job for that. We're in the people business. You got to find people to help before you get paid, you know?
That is really awesome. I really like that. Thank you. I'm going to jump back up the comments here. There's a question that came in from Linda, and she says, so you'd mentioned prior to us doing our role play that you took a break, right? Because everything with COVID, and then you jumped back in and lined up 6 listings back to back to back. Were those 6 listings, were they all from FSBOs? You'd mentioned that you're calling geo leads. And so this is what Linda says. She said, were the 6 listings you got back to back from calling geo leads or FSBOs, or a combination of both?
Yeah. So actually I got one of my referrals. That's exciting.
Right.
Yeah, super excited about that. Let me get them referrals. And then for sale by owners, everything else was for sale by owners. Everything else was for sale.
That's awesome.
So I just started kind of with the geo leads, and strangely enough, I did a just sold from one of the listings that I got during COVID. We got it listed. We got under contract in about a week. So I did a just sold, kind of just listed as well. And I ended up getting 2 appointments with one commercial investor and one investor who has about 10 homes that he's thinking about unloading that I'm taking to lunch next week. My first 2 calls. Now it got bad for me after that. But those first 2 out the gate were good.
Yeah, those are great contacts, right? If you can make, anytime you can make 1 phone call and have multiple transactions come from it, that's pretty good. So I hope that goes really well.
Yeah, me too.
So let me ask you this, guy, as you look forward to this summer, right? And remember, we've got people watching here. This is recorded, so people are going to watch this, and there's going to be a huge following. What's the advice that you would give to anybody?
No pressure.
No pressure. Right?
Wow.
I just wanted you to know, no pressure. What's the advice that you would give to anybody who might be looking at their summer months and not be super confident about where their next transactions are going to come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm in the same boat with them. You know, I'm not established yet to where I have some business. I have, I have a listing service pretty much. I'm developing and growing into my business. Of course, I do good work for my clients. But with that being said, I think the next deal comes if you give effort, no matter what, no matter the time. Here's the thing. This thing right here in your real estate license is all the opportunity you need. Find some people to help, and the deals will come. If you talk to enough people, even if you're really bad, even if you don't have the skills yet, I think that people could tell that if you're being sincere and you're really reaching out to help them, and you don't care about a check, and you're just looking to help them move, I do believe that those deals will come, no matter what's happening. And look, if they don't, the prospecting you're doing today, that's your checks in 60 days, 90 days. So if you're looking for quick and easy, as far as for a check anyway, you're in the wrong business. You should get a side job. If you need a check today, you should get another job. But if you can sustain to where, you can build your business, build your pipeline, fill your pipeline to where you have people you're talking to about selling or buying real estate, those deals will come later, man. It'll happen. You just have to talk to enough people. It's kind of my opinion.
I love it. I think that's fantastic. I think kind of the underlying theme, it sounds like, in the way you operate your business is you get out there and work, and you work with the right intentions, right? A few minutes ago, you said the cost of desperation is always greater than the cost of getting out with good intentions and doing the right thing. And I totally agree with that. And I think that it's amazing that you're there. This has been a fantastic 40 minutes. There's some amazing things that we've talked about, some amazing takeaways that I think people can take and apply some things into their business. Hopefully, your positive attitude continues to be contagious. I think that that's probably one of the things that is going to contribute drastically to your success in the future. And I'm super, super excited for what the future holds for you, Guy. I truly am. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, if you haven't subscribed to the updates for this blog, we do this, for this podcast, you can go to our homepage. You can go to our blog, theredx.com/blog, and you can subscribe. We do these several times a week. And we've got great agents, as we've witnessed today, great agents on here talking about what they do in their business, how they work, how they've dealt with COVID-19, how they're dealing with other swings in the market and in their production, and some fantastic things. Also, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. There's amazing content that we put there. We have a fantastic team of writers and copywriters and marketers who strive to provide valuable content. And hopefully you all see that as you look out and see any piece that's been written by REDX, whether it's an email from somebody or something on our blog, you'll see that we try to provide valuable content to you. That's certainly been the last 45 minutes here. There's been some amazing content. So thank you, Guy. One last thing, if you are a customer of ours, you want to connect with other great people, make sure to go to our forum, our customer forum. You can find that within Vortex. You can connect with role play partners. You can connect with other agents and ask questions about what they're doing. There's a tremendous community there, and I would strongly recommend everybody go there and check that out. Guy, I am really excited for your future. I think that man, nearly 30 deals in less than a year is. I hope you know that's pretty awesome. That's not normal. So
yeah, sure.
Great job. Thank you so much. If you'll hang tight with me, we'll chat a few things post show here, guys and gals. Thank you so much. We'll see you again in a few days for the REDX podcast. Everybody have a great afternoon.